Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to add a photo to a mug using Sublimation. These make such amazing personalized gifts. I'm actually making one for Father's Day, even though it's not until June, but these are perfect for so many occasions. With graduations coming up, this would be such a thoughtful and creative gift idea too. I won't be using my Cricut cutting machine today, but I will be using my Cricut mug press to bring it all together. So let's jump right in and get started. I'm using the Michaels Make Market Sublimation mug today. It's 15 ounces. It's very comparable to the Cricut Sublimation mugs. This has temperature settings for a heat press or sublimation oven. So if you're using that, I would just go off of those. What's nice about the Cricut mug press is you don't have to set your time or temp at all. You just set your mug in it and it does it all for you. Before going into Cricut Design Space, I'm going to measure my mug. I don't want it to go all the way around because of the handle, so I'm going to kind of account for that. And 9.5 inches looked really good for it. I'm also going to measure the height of the mug. It was 4.25 inches. Finally, some easy measurements. I love it when it's in like quarters like that. I also want to add a special touch to the mug. I'm going to take my two older kids' handwriting and put it underneath their photo. My son is 11 and my daughter is 7, so I'm taking some homework that they had since I didn't get a chance to have them write it down before they went to school this morning. My youngest just turned 3, so she doesn't know how to write her name yet, so I'm going to write it for her. I wrote her name a few times because I wasn't really happy with how it was looking, but looking at it here, they all look the exact same. I'll head over to Cricut Design Space. You can also accomplish this in Canva as well. First, I'm going to go to my shapes and grab a square. I'm going to make this the size of my mug. The width was 9.5 inches. And for the height, I measured 4.25 inches. I'm going to grab a text and type in Happy Father's Day. I found a random font on here. I'm pretty sure it was just in Cricut Design Space. I don't think I downloaded this one. I'm just going to kind of put it where I want that, and then I will go in and adjust it once I have everything in this rectangle. I'm going to upload my images next. I already have them uploaded because I was playing around with it, but I'll show you how I do this. I just downloaded these into my downloads folder on my computer. I put them all under a folder to make it easier to find it. Then I'll just double click in here. I'm doing pictures from when all 3 of my kids were babies, even though they're 11, 7, and 3 now. I just thought it'd be fun to have it with them being the same age. I'll select flat graphic and upload that into here. Since it's a bigger file, it will take a few seconds for it to load. I'm just going to upload the other 2 since I've already done that. Pulls it in really large. You can tell my husband is a Kansas City fan. He's wearing that in every picture. Now I'm going to upload the font. I'll just double click on this first one. I don't think it's working because it's the HEIC file. For some reason on iPhones, that's the file type. It gets really tricky because it doesn't work for a lot of things. I'm not sure about Android, but I'm going to have to go in a different way to upload that. Okay, now I have them saved as JPEGs. For this one, what I'm going to do first is just crop out what I want. It makes it a lot easier. Whoops. Undo. Now what I'm going to do is just click on it, and you can see it's pretty messy. I'm going to try to switch the color tolerance. Sometimes that helps. Try this. Okay, now I'm just gonna go in and manually erase this. It's going to be print and cut, so it doesn't have to be like perfect, which makes it a little bit easier, honestly. You can make the eraser size smaller, which is kind of nice, and just smooth it all out. It's kind of a pain. If you don't like how you did that, you can just hit the undo button too, which is also kind of nice. And like I said, this is going to be print thin cut, so it's not going to be cutting this out with vinyl, so it does make it a little bit easier that way. We'll hit apply and continue, and I'm going to select flat graphic and hit continue. Okay, look how fun that is. Now I'm just going to do the other two. This one does not look as great, but let's try doing something. Honestly, I'm so bad about the color tolerance, knowing what it does. I just try different random like numbers, but okay, that's probably the best I can get. Now we're just gonna clean it up a little bit more. It's nice too. You can zoom in, which really makes it a lot easier. I do wish they had a little better process for this. I might actually get rid of this whole thing. Just kind of touch it up a little bit. Okay, it's looking a lot better. Just keep working at it. You can also preview the layer, which is kind of nice just to make sure you're not missing anything big, but I think that looks good. This is going to be so cute to have their handwriting in here. His looks a little blurry, but we'll see. Oh my. At least his name is short. There's a lot of gray pieces because this was written on something that was like kind of a grayish color. I started this video before they went to school, otherwise I would have had them just write it out for me on a white piece of paper, which would have made it easier. Okay, I think that's gonna have to be good enough. I'm going to make it 2.5 by, or actually 2.25 by 3. Then I'm just going to crop out all of these pictures. Gonna make it a little bit smaller. What's nice about the guide is you can see it right here. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to highlight over the guide and the picture, and you can slice with the guide, which is really nice. So I'll come down to the bottom right and select slice. So that one's done. Now I'm going to just go to the next one, and I need to make this one smaller. I'll slice that. Then I'll just do the last one. Okay, I'm just going to delete everything. I don't need all of those slice pieces. Then I am going to put these in here. I'm going to do it in order of who's oldest. So my son Josh first, then I'll do Quinn, then Emmy. I think I'm going to do 0.5 for the height for their names. For these, I am going to highlight on all three. I just hit Shift on my keyboard. Then I'll go Align, Distribute horizontally. Then I'll do Distribute vertically. That makes it all lined up. Honestly, though, I might want to move it out just a little bit. Okay, let's try that. I'll go back to Distribute horizontally and vertically. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to group it together. That way I can center it with the wording and with my rectangle. So I think what I'm going to do is highlight over this, and this is the rectangle and my group of pictures, and I'm going to center it. That looks great. Now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight over my font in the rectangle, and I'll center horizontally. For the names, I might ungroup this and I might just center horizontally with the picture and name. I just want to make sure it moves the font, not the picture. Okay, it moved the font, so that's great. I'll do the same thing for this one and for this one. And I'll just kind of eyeball this part. I might make Father's Day just a little bit smaller. And let's see how this looks. That's going to be so cute. So my last step, I'm going to come up here and hit the Select All button. It's really convenient. It does all the layers. Then I'll flatten this together. I feel like this probably just barely fit for Cricut's sizing. I want to make sure I have my sublimation printer selected. I am going to turn off the bleed because I'm not cutting this out on the Cricut at all. I'll select Use System Dialog and Print. I'm going to switch to Color Sync and Automatic actually. And for my print settings, I need to check that. I'll do Premium Presentation Paper Matte, High Quality Mirror Image. And that should be good. I'll hit Print. My go-to brand for sublimation paper is A-Sub, so I'll be using that in this video. I'll be using my Epson Echo Tank, and I do turn my fast speed printing off, so it takes a while for it to print. I am going to start heating up my Cricut mug press while it's printing. I pulled it off the printer and it's already so cute. Since I'm not using the Cricut, I just grab scissors and I am going to cut around my whole design. I basically just cut out a rectangle. Before adding the paper to the mug, I need to clean it. Sublimation's really picky. If there is little dust on it, it will show up as specks on the mug. So I like to grab a lint roller and just get all that dirt off. Now I'm ready to add my paper. I find this to be the trickiest part. It's not too bad, but I want to make sure that everything is lined up, and it's a little bit difficult to see. You have to look through the paper. You also want to make sure that all the ink is flat on that mug. If it's not, there will be some ghosting. I pull the paper as tight as I can because, like I said, you want that ink to be flat up against the mug. I place the tape down in the center on one side. For mugs, I really like to use the blue Cricut tape just because it's a little wider. I double check everything's lined up and pull that paper tight against there, then tape that other side. With sublimation, I'm somewhat of an over taper just because I find it works out better for me, but I'm going to add some more blue tape along the entire edge of both of those sides. Then I like to go in with my thinner sublimation tape and tape down some of the spots that look like it needs it on the top and the bottom. I'm going to cut some butcher paper so that I can wrap that around the A-sub paper. This just protects the Cricut mug press from ink coming through. Now I'm ready to add the mug to the Cricut mug press. I lift up that lever and carefully place the mug inside. I say carefully because it's very hot. Also, you want to make sure that all the ink is touching the inside blue heat plate. You can kind of see me moving it around. I just want to make sure that those edges are totally covered. You can see those 5 little dots above the on button. That will just blink and keep going to the next one until it's done. I wish I would have timed this because it felt like it took a long time, but honestly, my perception of time can be kind of off. I felt like it was around 5 minutes, but really it could have been anywhere from 2 to like 10 minutes. I lift up the lever once it's done, it'll beep, and I like to use a heat-resistant glove. You can see the smoke coming off of that. It gets very hot. I definitely recommend setting it on a heat-resistant mat. I'm impatient and decided to peel it pretty much right away. I feel like it's probably recommended to wait until it cools down. It might cause some ghosting, but I've never really had issues with peeling the paper right away. If you see little white specks, don't panic. Just pieces of the paper get stuck to it during sublimation sometimes. To remove it, just grab a wet wash rag and rub off that paper. It comes off really easily. What's awesome about sublimation is the ink infuses into the mug, so as long as the mug is dishwasher safe, then you can put this in the dishwasher and you won't have to worry about the ink coming out at all. And that's it for today's project. I hope this gave you some inspiration for creating your own personalized photo mugs, whether it's for Father's Day, a graduation, or just because. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Cricut and sublimation tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.